Hello and welcome back. Today is release day for version 2.5.8 of the Pit Fan mod. The biggest change of this new version is that there's now a random mode. If we select it, you do not get a choice of what class to start as. Instead, you are given one. In this one, we are the Seeker, and we started with a Vorpal Blade, Plasma Flamer. Basically what it does is it gives you one melee weapon, one ranged weapon with ammo, one grenade, 1 to 3 grenades, some armor, food, and a tool, and one healing item. To show you the amount of variability you can get, let's try it again. Instead, we are the Scout this time, with a Neutronium Stormer, which is an amazing weapon, and different items, as you can see. And this is Vulture's Delight, so it's actually food. Lightning grenades, as an aside, are actually very good against mecha in the mod, so do not throw them away the way you would in vanilla. So, there's only one save slot for that, so if we were to save and load, you can see that there's a random slot. I named it random because I didn't want it taking over, overriding one of your other saves. And winning achievements are disabled for this type, for obvious reasons. I mean, you could just keep restarting until you get something amazing, and winning wouldn't be that difficult. Alright, I'm going to start opening up some other save files here to show off things. You now get a buff when resting in a bed. See, when we start off at 10 and go up from there. So you get quite a bit more health this way. I don't actually have anything to craft. Oh, I need bindings. Alright, you're gonna get to see the inner workings here of the debug mode. Bindings. Now when you fail a craft, you get a decent amount of junk from it. And you also get more junk from destroying your armor, or weapons or armor. Before it was between 1 and the number of slots it took, so 1 to 3 for this assault rifle. Now it's between half that number, or that number, and twice that number. So I think this should give between 3 and 6. See if I'm not full of it. 3 and 6, okay. It's within specifications. I think that was everything I had for this one. Go over to the engineer. The engineer's got a pretty decent change to him. Do I have any extra points so it doesn't do that? No. So what the engineer can now do is disassemble craftable items. So if it's a lab craftable item, you can disassemble it. And what it will do is it'll give you one guaranteed ingredient from that recipe and 30% chance for each additional ingredient. So if I disassemble this sharpening kit, we got 1 razor teeth, 1 bindings, and 1 heavy claw. So I think the 2 things we were missing was a 2nd razor tooth and a 2nd heavy claw there. So if you find something like a ballistic repair kit, you can try to get rifle parts out of it. You can try to get superconductors out of an energy system tuner, all sorts of cool stuff. Note that the engineer has had his HP per level decreased in order to balance this out. I got a few new items and weapons. We have reinforced boots, which you can craft using combat boots. Reinforced boots with the recipe here. So combat boots give 7 armor at 15 durability, I believe. Well, this is double that, basically. There's been a change to melee weapons that use ammo. You can strike them even if they're unloaded for less damage. But for things that you can actually throw and return, like the lightning spear and Tarka vac hammer, you can no longer throw it when you're out of charges. a new craftable weapon is the shotgun fists. So it uses shotgun shells to do pretty good damage. And like other ones, you can also you can keep punching without ammunition. It just won't do nearly as much damage. And it has a pretty long reload time. There's also the Neural Whip. So Neural Whip is like what the Mothman and the end boss have. I made a separate version for players. It's not quite as powerful because that thing's ridiculous. But there's no animations in game for whip type stuff, so it just uses the energy sword one. Another change you can see here is that radiation or anything that does 0 damage to props won't continually make that plink plink sound. That's a little bit of annoyance gone. I think that's everything for our engineer here. Who else? Scout. Scout had something. Ah, yes. There's a new enemy. This is the Light Security Bot Mark IV. Got a little bit more armor and HP than the other ones. And also has new weapons. I'm not going to tell you what they are, though. I'll just let you find out. Note that that enemy is only available if you have the Pilgrim DLC. Seeker. Okay, we've got a new prop. So this is the Archives. If you pass, it will give you a boost to a random skill. I've maxed out this character, so it didn't do anything, but it would have given me a boost there to my mechanical. The size of Tesseract wells has been increased, both in the number of slots they have, but also in the amount of real estate on the screen they take up, so that hopefully the slots aren't quite too small. And there was one more thing on the engineer I wanted to show off. So previously you could not cast Summon Horror in a doorway. Just go to show that that is possible now. There he is. Now let me check my list here. Brother Psionics Shot Down no longer works on cyborgs, but Necrosis does. So slight balancing change. Both the Medic and the Assassin have been given some initial Necrotech. And the Amazoid, there was a bug where once it mimicked you, you couldn't shoot at it, so that has been fixed. The bug was introduced when making it so that when the Morigi glamours you, you can't directly attack it. And that carried over to the Amazoid, so that's been fixed. Do I have anybody with a level up here? No. The Scout? Nope. Alright, well, anyway. More behind the scenes goodness here. So if you do have a level up, you can now hold shift, or whatever your second mod is, and C, and you can level up. Or you can see your character screen without leveling up. So if you have some points you want to spend before you level up, so I can do this. Exit out, level up again, and do this again. If you double level, it won't save you from that, but it's good if you want to just see where you're at, see where your skills are at, if you need to auto level them up to 45 still, see where your stats are at, that sort of thing. I did have another thing for the Tesseract Well, actually. Sorry, I'm all over the place. There's now a button when you go to the Tesseract Well and in your inventory. So that if you'd like to check recipes while you're playing around with your Tesseract Well, you can. Many times I've opened it up, and that's when you're really staring at all your stuff, so I would have to go to the wiki then to see if I had everything I needed. other than that, some bots drop more optics now, so hopefully that'll make using turrets a little more viable. And the rate of rifle parts has also been increased among turrets, and they've been given to hyper commanders. Other than that, just a bunch of little balance changes and typo fixes and stuff like that. So I guess that does it for this episode. Hope everyone enjoys playing it as much as I've been enjoying making it and playing it. And I'll see you next time.